What is up, everybody? It's your boy Verdict here, and thank you so much for stopping by. Now, before we even do any Global Labs videos today, we have to talk about this. I need to be honest with you guys. My inbox on Discord went wild. So by the time I woke up, about 10 people were already reaching out to me. I was already tagged in a Discord or two. It was heartwarming to see people looking forward and being curious towards, well, Mystic Daddy's reaction. But I need to be honest with you guys. The last change of Mystic was, I believe, in June last year. We've been 1 year and 4 months? 1 year and 3 months? So much time has passed to the point where we kind of lose hope. Today, I can't believe I'm saying it, Succession Mystic received a PvE buff. And it's not a bad one. It's a good one. It's actually a great one. And of course, Awakening Mystic also gets her changes as well. Now, we have a lot to talk about. I hope you guys enjoy. Please make sure to follow me on Twitch. I've moved all the live streams from the YouTube channel over to Twitch. It's been working out tremendously so far. Just wanted to thank you guys out. But let's talk about Suck Mystic, because I can't even wait to talk to you guys about it. Now, we readjusted the scene a little bit. What you see here is a link from the Black Desert Foundry webpage, already translated for us, and I am simply digesting this information from their very hard work. I'll leave a link down below in the description so you can see not just Mystic's buff, but all other, which I will cover also in a later video today. Today will be a very, very busy day for me. Let's just start reading from the get-go. I really want to see what's the purpose behind all of these changes. Just to let you guys know, a lot of what's happening with these changes really is adjusting health return in PvE, specifically on most skills, and pretty much making classes not that desperate for the elixir desired combat, which is usually all revolving around sustain, not the damage that they give you. Like, that's one of the reasons for which people go with elixirs. It's literally because of the sustain. Succession Mystic, let's start reading. Our Prime Rage Hammer. Our Prime Rage Hammer is an interesting ability. It is a bread and butter ability. It's what we lead with. It's our main debuffing post our non-prime abilities, and it is almost what we start with. It's a great ability. So we have the Prime Rage Hammer skill consumption consumes Fighting Spirit, and the life recovery effect when activated has been changed from 20 to 50. So basically this is happening from 20 to 50, 20 to 40, and another 20 to 50 respectively for Prime Rage Hammer, Prime Wave Orb, and Prime Sea Burial. This is extremely important. There's also a little bit of a change, which I will read aside. So the phrase reducing the number of hits in PvP situation for the following skill has been removed, and the number of hits for the skills has been adjusted accordingly. So there was, in many of these skills, there were just reduced damage in PvP pretty much onto the basic of the ability for whatever reason. Now they're just simply kind of, think of it like cleaning a little bit of the description of these abilities. So let's move towards the most important part, and that's what the hell are we getting buffed with? These are the abilities. We have also a little bit of Sea Burial down below, but we'll talk about that. That requires a segment on its own. So Prime Soul Basher, our F key, and it's the hardest hitting succession ability pretty much outside of the spenders is what I'm trying to say. So Prime Soul Basher will retain that fame, and we'll keep it, and actually it has been even increased. It's a very good change. Now Prime Hidden Claw is changed quite a lot. This is a very good, it's almost like 300% onto the scaling of the ability. Now this isn't 300% damage, no, this is just the 300% of the AP which is taken and then multiplied by the additional hits. So in reality, Prime Hidden Claw had an issue. The issue with Prime Hidden Claw was it's so necessary to use it, yet you couldn't do it that many times because the spell has cooldowns. But in the moments where you had to use Prime Hidden Claw, you would notice that the ability did not really do good damage. And it's kind of literally, okay, since it's our DP debuff ability, you kind of just throw it once and then you rotate everything else but that ability unless it's on a cooldown after a tornado. So this means that we will probably have the entirety of Prime Hidden Claw cast actually be used now instead of the cut down short version, which is used as a fast connection from other abilities, similar to what Tornado. If you do F Soul Basher, F Tornado, and then S LMB, you're going to see that you use almost half of like 30% of Hidden Claw. So this is an interesting change. The damage increase on that one is adequate, and I love it. We'll see what happens with it. Let's talk about Prime Tornado Kick. Prime Tornado Kick is pretty much our spammy We use it all the time. It's after every single ability you can use the Tornado Kick. It's not as efficient as if you could rotate other abilities, fit different cooldowns, but still, it's a very good spammable ability. And it's getting not bad damage increase to begin with. So let's talk about Prime Sweeping Kick. Now, I wasn't expecting this. I really was not expecting this. Because here's the thing, you don't usually care that much about Prime Sweeping Kick because it's pretty much a tool to cut abilities short, such as you could use Prime Sweeping Kick to engage into a very fast Hurricane Kick. That's our Magna skill. You could use Prime Sweeping Kick to engage into a very, fast, Wave Orb, anything. You can pretty much shorten it, and it's also our 20 AP buff. So I didn't think that they would address this, but in reality they did, and they gave it just a little bit of damage. Nonetheless, it's cool to see, it's like, oh, I didn't expect this. Well, thank you, we'll take it. Let's not complain. Suck Mystic is getting buffed, all right? Let's move towards our spenders. And then we'll talk about this down below. So our spenders, guys, Roaring Tiger, Rage Hammer, Wave Orb, and Sea Burial. If you guys know me, I've spoken about Sea Burial so long, and pretty much every Mystic aligns with the view that I have because this is a common view and all Mystics understand that this is a very poor ability. But however, let's look at Roaring Tiger first. Wow, that's a lot of damage on Roaring Tiger. Roaring Tiger is really getting a lot of damage. If you see the PvE consumption, it goes from just the base PvE fighting consumption 1803 times 8 to 2.2k times 7. Now, this is an interesting change, and I'm not really sure why it is the way it is. Now, this is still a great PvE damage. Even though they're reducing the hits, I understand why they're doing it. When you see hits being reduced, this is pretty much them saying, okay, we don't want you to go out of your world, out of your mind, because of elixirs, multiple hits, etc. So we're going to tone this down, but still give it a lot of damage, so you will definitely feel the damage increase. Now, this is still a massive damage increase, and I really mean it. It's a massive one. So it's so massive to the point where we're finally getting a contrast of Suck Mystic. Suck Mystic is a DPS oriented class, and it never had any burst potential into the PvE. With the Hurricane Kick and Tiger Sweep, it was kind of the first time. I even made a video about this, I even spoke about this, saying that for the first time Suck Mystic actually has burst introduced to her kit, and now this here is kind of furthermore emphasizing upon burst. So we will probably see Suck Mystic having PvE burst, which is very interesting. So this is all for Roaring Hammer. Let's move towards Rage Hammer because, Roaring Tiger. Let's move towards Rage Hammer because Rage Hammer is just out of its mind. So from 16.4 times 8, it goes to 2.4 times 8. This is 1000% onto the skill. This is idiotic amounts of damage. And I'm actually so happy about this because Rage Hammer has been kind of a very necessary skill because of its AoE potential and basically what it does, and it's moving, in my opinion, towards actually being furthermore contributing towards the way Mystic feels in terms of her spenders. Mystic does not feel bursty with her spenders. She feels like, okay, this is actually a little bit of a spike in my DPS, so now this spike is going to increase, giving the class some very, very needed burst. The Rage Hammer damage increase is so much, in my opinion, to the point where this may or may not be enough to get me to try these buffs out. Alright? Yes, I said it. I will try these buffs out. Moving on to Wave Orb. Wave Orb is also another of these abilities that got really a lot of damage. So let's talk about Wave Orb because from 16 times 10 to 23 times 10, this is a lot of damage. It's not as much as Prime Rage Hammer did get, but it's still Wave Orb, a lot of damage. And it's insane just to see how much damage we're getting. Now, Prime Sea Burial. The thorn at every Mystic side, the useless ability. The ability that we just had to fill with only if there was too much attack speed to the point where we had nothing else to fill it with. Unfortunately, it will remain the same. Sea Burial is not getting any attention whatsoever, ladies and gents, and it sucks, but what can you do? Sea Burial is a meme ability. It will keep on being a meme ability, and I guess nothing is going to change with that. Sad, but true. These changes are great. They missed 3 of my points, so we'll see. Probably there will be further more adjustments. I doubt it, but we hope. But in reality, I wanted to see Sea Burial made into a tier 3 add-on. Probably give us the DP buff that Awakening Mystic has. And of course, we need, in general, a tier 3 add-on. But nonetheless, I'm not going to talk about what could have been. I'm very happy, very pleased with these changes. I'll see what they do once they get out. Might try it, might not. We'll see. Of course, I'll fucking try it. And let's move towards Awakening Mystic. So Awakening Mystic has been in a very, very good position since her previous buffs. In fact, some people are willing to argue that on some spots she's a little bit too good. She's doing really, really well all around the spot. She is not, breaking any spot. She is not definitively busted in any spot. She is kind of fitting the same situation that Succession Zerker is fitting. And in reality, it's a little bit of a very good grinder, but neither the most optimal anywhere, neither a busted one. So let's look into what they're doing with Flow Sea Burial. So change the strike of the Flow Sea Burial skill to be applied equally within the attack range. Accordingly, the expression for maximum hit has been removed. The description of the hit rate of Flow Sea Burial skill has been corrected. For skills that take damage from other skills, the damage, critical chance, and hit rate of that are applied according to the level of the skill. Now, this is very interesting. Recently, I had a conversation with a fellow Mystic player. We was talking about inherited accuracy and abilities, and he pretty much said that there was something wrong with the flow of Sea Burial, and he said that it doesn't inherit. It seems like the accuracy is exactly the same, and I believe this thing over here kind of proves it. So ta-ta to my buddy out there for figuring this out. Let's talk about Sea Burial to begin with. The attack of the Dragon Effect in Sea Burial skill has been changed to be applied equally within the attack range. That was a very interesting one. Earth Splitter. Earth Splitter is a very interesting ability. The health recover effect upon a successful hit of Earth Splitter has been changed from 30 to 50. So basically, this is pretty much a, hey guys, yeah, we're just buffing sustain. So let's talk about Rapid Stream. Now, Rapid Stream is getting good damage. Now, it's always good to buff these spammable abilities, especially in the case of Mystic, because she really revolves around spammable abilities. Rising Dragon from 1 to 4, we're getting the effect from 1805 to 21 times 5. So this is really good. It's very good damage. It's more burst than, in my opinion, what Awakening Mystic needs, and I think this change is a little bit uncalled for into the Rising Dragon. I think other abilities could have used more of this, but nonetheless, Spiral Torpedo got also a little bit of a change onto the damage. Spiral Torpedo, people never look at Spiral Torpedo's damage, so this is still good to be had. Don't get me wrong, she uses Spiral Torpedo to position through enemies, and that's kind of one of the main things which made her push above Succession Mystic, and that is literally because while she's repositioning, she's dealing damage. That's something that unfortunately Succession Mystic doesn't have. Talking about Sea Burial of Awakening, we are also having an increased effect onto the dragon by almost 100% of the AP scale. So this is really cool. It's fine. Sea Burial did need a little bit of attention, which is good. This is where it's getting it. And let's move towards Wave Orb, which in my opinion is one of the biggest changes. So the Wave Orb went from 16 times 6 to 21 times 6. Now this is a lot. This is actually a lot. Wave Orb is our tier 3 add-on in Awakening that is not on a priority. And this really creates this disconnect, because if you really think about it, the way you want to lead in this game is usually with a tier 3 add-on. We'll see if this changes something, because right now tier 3 add-on is actually the last thing that we use in the entire rotation, just because the way pretty much we can shorten our burst, we can make it more impact. So seeing the Wave Orb damage adjustment, I'm not sure if it will take precedent over Rising Dragon. I don't think it will, but going second into the chain instead of third into the chain will be a very interesting thing to see if it actually happens. We'll test it, we'll give it a go. If it works, it works. And then we have the 3 spammies of Awakening Mystic. Gushing Waters, Dragon Strike, and Raging Wind. They're all getting something like a little bit of a similar damage treatment. So this is really good. Overall, how do I feel about these Mystic changes? I feel really good about them. I feel like they're very, very strong. I feel like they're very, very good. I am not sure if Awakening Mystic needed that much of a DPS increase. I think what Awakening Mystic, in my eyes, needed was, I'm probably calling for something that will never happen, but Awakening Mystic needs to be able to integrate pre-awakening into her kit instead of buffing the simplicity of her spammables. My opinion, probably only. I'm not sure what you guys feel about this. In terms of Succession, mwah, love them. I really love them. Sea Burial, still a grudge with it, but I guess Pearl Abyss have a little bit of a different vision than us Mystics about Sea Burial, and they're keeping it that way. Hopefully, they buff it. PA buff Sea Burial right now. So thank you so much for watching. If you did so far, up until the end of this video, it's a very big video. Thank you guys so much. Feel free to support the channel by any means necessary, either here on YouTube or maybe go on Twitch. I even have a Patreon that I post there also. And yeah, guys, I'll see you soon.